There's no way y'all gonna tell me that Kendrick is out rapping Cole ever in your life, all right? Ever. Since J.Cole bowed out, right? You can say that he's out of that conversation. You can say that if you want. Everyone talking about big three arguments or whatever. Listen, son. I've always been Team Cole. I don't know if J.Cole realizes that there is a genre named drum and bass, and if you call it drum and bass, people might feel some type of way if there's no drum and bass in the drum and bass song. What are you thinking, huh?
What if I told you I was down and couldn't think clear? What if I told you I haven't had a drink in 10 years? What if I told you slow down again and blended, then I sped back up and it's exactly what I wanted? Ay, what if I told you never really had to act hard? But before you go and test, you should back off. What if I go around showing off my dad bod 30 plus and they act like you watching Mad Live?
The fall off is here, y'all. It's finally here. It's finally here. Sorry. Yeah, it's been a big build up to this album, okay? So you have to forgive me. There hasn't been a build up to this since like Detox. I ain't gonna lie. Very interesting off the back of his mixtape that he just released, and which was completely fire. Using classic beats like Victory from Notorious B.I.G. and Puff Daddy at the time. It's a long one. I didn't realize it was going to be 24 tracks. Good Lord. Whew, I ain't even got that attention span like that. But you know what? I got a new baby. I'm up at night. I might as well blast some J.Cole for her and me, you know? So that's what I did. And I listened to it whole way through, and then I skimmed through some of it as well. So first off, there are no misses on here. There are no misses on here. I mean, that's crazy to say, but there is some experimentation, we'll say. We have like drum and bass, for example, which I think is a great track. But as a drum and bass fan, there's no drum and bass in the song. And I know he's referencing a drum and bass, you know. So I get that. That's what he's referencing, but like missed opportunity to not have a drum and bass breakdown similar to what Andre 3K would do on The Love Below. People are searching drum and bass, like you literally title it like the genre. I don't know if J.Cole realizes that there is a genre named drum and bass, and if you call it drum and bass, people might feel some type of way if there's no drum and bass in the drum and bass song. What are you thinking, huh? Yeah, I feel some type of way about that one, but it's still a good song. So we got a lot of old hip hop references here. Of course, we have where J.Cole raps backwards, which y'all are probably already familiar with. That was a reference to the Nas song Rewind. And J.Cole, clearly he loves Nas because there is another reference to One Love. I think it's called Safety. It's like the third song on there, and that is structured in the form of One Love, which I think is very interesting. I mean, he's obviously a Nas stan, and I originally thought that that was going to be a Stan redo or something like that, but like someone calling him instead, but that wasn't. I went out the window and I was listening to it more, and it was Nas that I was hearing. So, yeah, I think it's very interesting that he loves Nas so much and references him and bigs him up. He obviously thinks that Nas is probably like the greatest of all time. I bet that would not surprise me. And I think he did it justice. I think he's doing all these justice. There's multiple references to old school songs where he's structuring something like an old song, and he even has samples from old hip hop songs. So I love to see that because he's giving light to hip hop at that time too, and also doing it in a new and fresh way. For an album this long, I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't get that bored at all. And this is surprising because you know how I feel about long albums. I think that the only thing keeping it from reaching that pinnacle of perfection for me and hitting like a 10 out of 10 is because that it's 24 tracks. But for it being 24 tracks, I am shocked that there are no misses on here. There's nothing that's like, hey, this one is skippable, this one's skippable. And there's no real misses, I would say. There is on the disc 2, you have the first 3 tracks, or probably the 3 tracks after the start of disc 2, that are kind of they're more great. They're not incredible, they're great. And so that's why you kind of have that. That's, at least to me, like, disc 1 is some of the best rapping I've heard J.Cole do off the back of the mixtape, which is some of the best rapping I've heard J.Cole do. And this is sick, okay? And so there's no way I can't give this album a 9 out of 10. And I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I was gonna give it a 9.5, but having 24 tracks, okay, it's very hard to get a 10 out of me for the album this long, okay? And that's just because there's no way you're not gonna get bored. You have great storytelling, great rapping, production, crazy, okay? Because we got more jazzy, kind of boom bap, and done in a fresh way. Y'all heard me say that boom bap is kind of stale right now, because there's just nothing you can do to make it different. Well, he doesn't try to do it different. He more references his old kind of boom bap sounds, probably triggering my nostalgia in my brain. This is amazing. So that gave me that feeling again, like, okay, boom bap is back, you know what I'm saying? And that's what J.Cole does. I mean, he's always been on top of that genre. So I love that about it, that is crazy to me, that the album 24 tracks long is still a 9 out of 10. We also have a reference to the Bone Thugs and Harmony style flow. Y'all see me post recently about Bone Thugs and Harmony. And also, I'd love to see that this song directly gives homage to their flow, and it's painfully obvious, so I love it. It's called The Let Out. You go check that one out. I would recommend checking The Let Out, the last song on the album, which is a sing-songy type of album, and I love that about it because it's mellow. It's he's singing on it, and it also has a hip-hop feel to it as well. Feels like an ending to an album, a great way to end the album. I thought that was like one of my favorite songs on there, and The Let Out is also one of my favorite songs on there. And the Safety actually is really good too. So those 3 are probably my favorites. But there is so many favorites on here, it's actually hard to pick, because there's just so much high-level rapping on here. And I'm just glad to see that from when Kendrick dropped GNX to when Clips did their albums, and now J.Cole doing his, that it's like what Kendrick said at the Grammys, that hip-hop is here and it's not going anywhere, and J.Cole makes that clear to me. And everyone talking about big 3 arguments or whatever, listen, son, I've always been Team Cole. Always. And there's no way y'all gonna tell me that Kendrick is out rapping Cole ever in your life, all right? Ever. There's no way you're gonna tell me that. I'm not gonna lie. Look, since J.Cole bowed out, right? You can say that he's out of that conversation. You can say that if you want. But we all know that J.Cole, he wouldn't have lost the battle. He would have lost a bro. He wouldn't have lost the battle. He would have lost a bro. He was being mature. There's a maturity level in walking away from a beef. Nobody does that, okay? So when you walk away from a beef, knowing how people are gonna look at you, knowing how people are gonna say about you, that took courage, bro. Like, let's be real. You're talking about you running scared. It took courage to walk away from it, especially after responding to what Kendrick said, I mean, because really it's Kendrick who antagonized everything. You know, he lays out Kendrick's smart because he lays out bait and he's like, okay, take this little nugget of bait. Fuck the big three. It's this big meat. Put it out there. He took it. I got a big one. That's what Kendrick do, and he does that to create moments. Like I said, he's doing that on purpose because he knows what he's doing. He knows the reaction he's gonna get. This is chess moves to him, you know. Whereas Cole, he's just making good music, bro. He's just trying to make good music. So, and he does. And like I said, he's out rapping Kendrick. All right. He's definitely out rapping both of them. Out rapping Drake. He's not even in his big two at this point. So let me know what y'all think about that, man. Let me know what y'all think about the fall off, man. A big build up to a great album. 9 out of 10 for me. I'm here for it. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.
Come and learn some, I'll be sunning you. Couldn't go around when up under you. Come and burn some, we ain't judging you. Might as well be happy as you struggle through. Come and learn some, I'll be sunning you. Couldn't go around when up under you. Come and burn some, we ain't judging you. Might as well be happy as you struggle through.